Okay. You ready, Frank? Okay. Okay, Mr. Moffett, will you open the meeting, please?
Yes, I'll read the statement of compliance. This meeting is being held in conformity to the Open Public Meetings Act. Proper public notice of this meeting was published in the local newspapers on June 6, 2015 and June 7, 2015. If any board member or member of the public in attendance believes that this meeting is in violation of the Open Public Meetings Act, the Hoboken Board of Education requests that they make a statement at this time. The board wishes to make those in attendance aware that this meeting is being recorded on video and rebroadcast by the board at a later date on cable television channel 77 and FiOS channel 46. The Hoboken Board of Education is committed to preserving the decorum of the public process and is mindful that we live in an age of electronic computers, cell phones, and other electronic communication devices. Nonetheless, we respectfully request that all meeting participants kindly silence their electronic devices during the course of the meeting, and if use of the device is necessary, we ask that you please leave the meeting room if you need to conduct personal business. Thank you. If you could please rise for a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so we opened early at 6:30 today because we need to go into closed session for a personnel matter. So,
Let me call roll. And
I'm sorry. First, we're going to call roll.
Miss Angley?
Here.
Mr. Biancamano?
Present.
Miss Evans?
Here.
Dr. Gold?
Here.
Mr. Kluffel?
Here.
Miss Mitchell?
Here.
Miss Sobolov?
Here.
Miss Stromwall?
Here.
And Miss Tyroller?
Here. So we're here early because we need to go into closed session for a personnel issue. So can I have a motion to go into closed?
Second.
Okay,
Who motioned?
Motion.
Jen.
And second was?
Jean Marie.
Call roll.
Call roll.
Miss Angley?
Yes.
Mr. Biancamano?
Aye.
Miss Evans? Dr. Gold?
Here.
Mr. Kluffel?
Yes.
Miss Mitchell?
Yes.
Miss Sobolov?
Yes.
Miss Stromwall?
Yes.
And Miss Tyroller?
Yes.
For
Okay.
the general public, we're going to closed session for matters of personnel and potential contract negotiations. Will be approximately 30 minutes.
Okay.
I think Peter just went to the bathroom.
Okay. Okay. Bill, can you, Mr. Moffett, can you take us out of closed session, please?
All right. Have a motion to come back in closed session and come back into general session.
I move it.
Motion.
Call roll. Miss Angley?
Here.
Mr. Biancamano?
Present.
Miss Evans?
Here.
Dr. Gold? Here. Mr. Kluffel?
Here.
Miss Mitchell?
Here.
Miss Sobolov?
Here.
Miss Stromwall?
Here.
And Miss Tyroller?
Here. Thank you, Mr. Moffett. To the audience, we apologize. We had some business we had to do in closed session before we get the meeting going. So now we'll begin the meeting. I'll start with the superintendent's report. Oh, we'll do recognition with Dr. Hernandez.
Good evening. Tonight I'm going to present Students of the Month for the month of May and June. We will start with the May Students of the Month. Our first student is Joshua Joffrey. Joshua here? Josh is a kindergarten student at the Brant School. Josh has made outstanding progress this month. He is writing and reading like a first grader. Shine on, Joshua. We are so proud of you. Please join me in congratulating Joshua. Our second student is from Calabro School, 5th grader Michael Watts. Good, Michael. In the past month, Michael has made enormous improvements in his behavior and has shown great respect towards his peers and other staff members in and out of the classroom. He has become someone who is happy to be at school, arriving with a smile on his face. Michael has followed directions quickly and has been a positive role model for his classmates. Michael comes to school prepared and ready to learn, completing all assignments in a timely manner. His efforts and hard work have shined greatly. It is with great pleasure to nominate him as a District Student of the Month. Please join me in congratulating Michael. Thank you. Our next student is from Connors Elementary School, kindergarten student Timothy White. Timothy is a joy to have in class. Timothy always works hard to follow the Thomas G. Connors expectations for learning and behavior. He is always willing to help out in the classroom and does it with a smile on his face. Timothy brings a positive energy to the class as well as many laughs and dance moves. Dance? Okay. We are proud of Timothy and all his hard work. He is a responsible young man and a great role model for his classmates. Please join me in congratulating Timothy. Our next student is a 6th grader from Wallace Elementary School, Adrian Petrie. Adrian has shown tremendous growth since September. His grades and positive attitude in ELA demonstrate the effort Adrian puts into school. Adrian actively participates in extracurricular activities such as sports, football and wrestling, and shows leadership by being a peer leader. Adrian is thoughtful, responsible, and mature. He consistently shows kindness and respect to peers and teachers. Adrian possesses all the qualities of a Student of the Month. Please join me in congratulating Adrian. Adrian. Congratulations. Our next student is our junior high school student, 8th grader, Ariana Hendrick. Ariana? Ariana Henrique. Ariana Henrique. Adriana has grown immensely this year. Her writing is thoughtful and she has taken on a leadership role in the classroom. She offers help to her fellow students and gives thoughtful and constructive feedback. She is a pleasure to have in class. Please join me in congratulating Ariana. And our last student for the high school for the month of May, Emmy Mendez, 12th grader. Right, she had a job interview. She's not here this evening. We wish her luck on her interview. Emmy is not just an outstanding student, but an outstanding person. Emmy has a full AP schedule and still has time for school events, volunteering, and tutoring. She is the president of the Interactive Club. She is an active member of the Honor Society and the Literary Arts Magazine. Emmy is a graduating senior that is attending George Washington University in the fall. She will be missed, and the halls of Hoboken Junior Senior High School will not be the same. Congratulations, Emmy. Moving on to our June Students of the Month. Starting off with Brant Vega Velardo. Vega has improved drastically from earlier this year. She came in with Spanish as her dominant language and struggled with letters, sounds, and words. Now she is practicing reading the Magic Treehouse chapter books. Ms. Rodriguez is very proud of Vega. Congratulations. Please join me in congratulating Vega. Our next student is a sixth grader from Calabro School, James Rodriguez. James always strives to do his best academically and creates a positive energy that makes learning more fun. No matter what is placed in front of him, he is always ready to challenge it head-on. James sets goals for himself and goes above and beyond his efforts to succeed. He is kind and compassionate young man who is always available to help teachers or a struggling classmate. For these reasons, it is with great enthusiasm to nominate James as the Student of the Month for Calabro. Please join me in congratulating James. Our next student is a kindergarten student from Connors Elementary School, Kenya Miller. Kenya is an outstanding student. She consistently goes above and beyond in the classroom and on her work. She takes great pride in her learning and produces remarkable products that often get displayed around the school and classroom. She is a very sweet and conscientious student who truly cares about work and her classmates. Please join me in congratulating Kenya. Our next student is from the Wallace Elementary School, fifth grader, Sheila Lamb. Sheila is an outstanding fifth grade student with incredible work ethic. She is an avid reader, an artist, and always tries her best in every one of her subjects. She is a Wallace School band member, a Wallace chorus member, and is involved in the Wallace Student Council. She is kind and respectful to her peers and teachers. Her attendance has been outstanding this year. She is a true model student who has been a pleasure to teach. Please join me in congratulating Sheila. Our next student is the junior high school student, 8th grader Annie Tazanova. Academically, Annie completes all assignments and has performed very well this year on tests and quizzes. Annie raises her hand to participate in class. She is cooperative and respectful in class. She is a good leader in that she is always in uniform, on time to class, prepared, follows classroom rules. She is doing what she's supposed to do at the junior high school. Please join me in congratulating Annie. And last but not least, our last student of the month for the 2014-2015 school year is a 9th grader at the Hoboken High School, Ivelisse Lorenzo. In theater class, she is a leader who goes above and beyond all classroom assignments. She's always given 110% in class. Ivelisse is a standout in the honors classes and well on her way to be recommended for advanced placement courses. She is a vital member of the Hoboken High School Hispanic Culture Club who has spent tireless hours advocating and marketing for the club. Please join me in recognizing Ivelisse. That completes our Students of the Month. I will continue with our 4 retirees who are leaving the Hoboken Public Schools after many years of service. And I would like to start off with Miss Patricia Williams. Miss Williams has served the district tirelessly in many shapes and forms over 34 years. At Hoboken High School, Miss Williams began her teaching career with special education students, catering her instruction to best suit their learning styles. In her 22 years spent working with the students at Hoboken High School, she also greatly contributed to the school community. She held the position of peer leadership counselor for 3 years, as well as taking on the role of substance abuse counselor, and also as coordinator of the Student African American Club, both positions which she held for 7 years. Ms. Williams has also proven herself to be an asset to the school communities at Wallace for 10 years and at Calabro for the past 2 years. Ms. Williams is a dedicated professional whose commitment to students has long been admired and respected by many. The District of Hoboken thanks you for your exceptional service to our students, and we wish you all the best on your retirement. Congratulations to Ms. Williams. She's already traveling the world, so she's not with us tonight. Our second teacher, Mr. Joe Dobish. He's a teacher at the high school. He graduated from Newark State, now Keene University, where he earned a bachelor's degree and his master's of arts. He eventually went on to receive a degree in engineering from FDU, where he also gained his certification to teach mathematics. Mr. Dobish started his teaching career in Irvington, where he taught mathematics and woodshop for 16 years. Then he moved to Hoboken, where he taught for 26 years in the math department. It wasn't until his last few years that he moved back into the woodshop. For a period of time, he was a coordinator of the alternative high school program in the Boys and Girls Club because Mr. Dobish had a talent for getting students to understand math. Even with all the technology, when you walked in his classroom, he can get students to grasp the concepts with just a piece of chalk and board. He was gifted, and that is why he was successful in over 42 years in education. Mr. Dobish was a senior class advisor and often organized fishing trips for Hoboken High School students and the A.J. Demarest Alternative High School. Mr. Dobish had an amazing career and used humor in and outside of the classroom. He is truly missed at Hoboken Junior Senior High School, and we congratulate him and wish him well. Our next employee is a maintenance worker. He's got over 42 years working for Hoboken Public Schools. John Gullo. No, he's not here. John served the children and staff of this district as a dedicated maintenance worker. He has spent his career making sure that whatever needed to be done to provide a pleasant and safe working and learning environment was done well. He always had greeted everyone with a pleasant smile and a helping hand. We thank him for his dedication and wish him well on his retirement. Congratulations, John. And last but not least, we are losing this year because of retirement, a staff member from central office, Diane Body. Diane Body started her public service career as a head bookkeeper with the Weehawken Board of Education in 1981, and after 4 years of service, started a journey through other public school districts, spending 2 years with the Roselle Board of Education as a confidential assistant to the business administrator, 3 years with the Hillside Public Schools as a payroll manager and assistant board secretary, and 12 years as an assistant to the business administrator and board secretary with the school district of the Chathams. Ms. Body joined the Hoboken Public Schools as an assistant to the business administrator and assistant to the board secretary in 2010. While here in Hoboken, Diane worked on various special projects beyond her daily responsibilities, including the development and introduction of a standard operating procedures manual, development and institution of a district purchasing manual, assistance with full implementation of the unique position control roster, and she was also a key asset for the full implementation of the Systems 3000 module for budget development. Diane is a significant part of the business office, and her departure is bittersweet. We all would like to wish her good health and happiness in her retirement and during the time she will spend with her partner Diane, her son Michael, her stepson Jonathan, her stepdaughter Jenny, and 4 of her grandchildren, Gabriella, Nate, Grace, and Matthew. Congratulations to Ms. Body. Okay, that's it.
If I may add a few words. It's not often I have the honor to recognize a public servant with over 25 years' experience, but not just any experience. It's experience in that place that's dark and mysterious. It's called the business office. Diane Body is one of those employees that served in several capacities in that business office over her career, which is oftentimes hidden from students and parents whom we all serve. On behalf of the students and parents that you've helped deliver services to, thank you. For all the times you help parents complete their school lunch applications, the times you help identify funds to cover that last-minute field trip, or all the time you put in help documenting things that nobody else wants to document, like computers, instructional equipment, that you have to get done like today or yesterday so that we get that lease money tomorrow. All of these things and the unseen actions that you have taken over your career on behalf of students, again, I say thank you. I'll just, on a personal note, I do want to tell you how much I appreciated all of your assistance during my transition to Hoboken, and specifically sharing all your, I will say, institutional knowledge, not only here in Hoboken, but also the vast knowledge base that you have accumulated over your career. So again, I do respect your courteousness and your ability to make me feel at home and show me the ropes, as they say. So you help keep the district on the right track through various different transitions, not only with my transitions, but several of my predecessor. So I wish you, Diane Body, congratulations on your retirement. And like I've said to you several times, you earned it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hernandez, and thank you, Mr. Moffett. Diane, want to say anything? No, she's the silent type. She's not going to say anything. I just wanted to offer. Okay, so we'll continue with the superintendent's report.
Well, no specific information to report other than just to say we're winding down what, in my opinion, has been a very successful school year here in Hoboken for a number of different reasons. And I'd just like to add to that my sincere appreciation to the community and the parents and students and certainly the Board of Education for the opportunity to have served as your interim superintendent. It's only 3 more weeks left, and the last meeting is June 30th. Whether I'm going to be at that or not depends on where I'm going to be July 1. So I want to make that statement tonight. Thank you so much. It's been one of the most enjoyable years of my entire career. Thank you.
Business Administrator's report.
Right, I just wanted to revise action on tonight's agenda, which is 10.11, which is award contract for food service management company. We will be awarding that contract to Pomptonian Food Service from Fairfield, New Jersey, at a fee not to exceed $59,500. Again, those are the two areas that were left blank in the resolution. We completed them today. We had a conversation, and the selection committee had been performed and reviewed various aspects of the bid documentation and specifically the response to that bid request. So tonight, again, that'll be on the agenda for approval and consideration of the board. Again, it's 10.11, which is award to contract for food service management company. A couple public service announcements. Contingent upon tonight's action, 10.27, which is to rescind contract award. We'll be going out as soon as possible to gather bids for the Joseph F. Brandt Primary School exterior masonry repairs. They will be due June 25, which is a Thursday. Again, that is contingent upon tonight's action from the board. I also have a bid out for printing services. Currently, it's available on our website and at our board offices. They are due back again as printing services, and they will be due back also on, well, I should say Thursday, June 11th, 2015. So if you have, if there's a printer out there maybe listening to us at a later date, you can come in and pick those up. And we do have 2 transportation bids out, again, available on our website and in our board offices. So thanks, and that concludes my quick report.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to committee reports. Can we start with you, Dr. Gold?
The Finance Committee, what we do, we're spending money. It's pretty pro forma, except there's a few things I'd like to just bring up. One is so obvious. The purpose of the Finance Committee is to discuss money. Who gets it? Where do we get it from? How much? And where do we spend it? For us, there are 3 major concerns: charter school costs, state funding, and district spending. This is the reason that charter, state-mandated expenditures, state financing comes up at BOE meetings, not because of some fixation on the charter schools. They just happen to be a large component of our financial situation. And while reasonable people disagree on the merits of charter schools, a recent legal brief has me concerned about the way some charter school administrators chose to characterize our district school system. It's very unfortunate. In the no good deed goes unpunished category, to save Hoboken taxpayers money, we recently asked for permission to raise kindergarten enrollment from 21 to 22 students per class. So far, this request has been denied. It appears that the Governor and Department of Education are asking the Hoboken Public School District to make bricks without straw. For those biblically inclined, you know how that worked out. That's my report.
Thank you, Dr. Gold. Ms. Stromwell? That's right. Ms. Evans?
The Governance and Personnel Committee met last Wednesday, June 3rd. In attendance were Dr. Brickell, myself, Vito Gagliardi, Dr. Hernandez, Ms. Stromwell, Ms. Sobolov, and Ms. Tyroller. The principal of the junior-senior high school, Ms. Picapietra, came in to meet with us to discuss scheduling at the junior-senior high school. Mr. Gagliardi updated the committee on pending legal matters and answered questions from committee members regarding legal issues. The committee also discussed the Office of Legislative Services analysis of Governor Christie's proposed budget for the upcoming 2015-2016 school year. In particular, the governor is proposing to flat fund public education again in the upcoming school year, even for districts with increasing enrollment. However, he is proposing to hold charter schools harmless by funding them at 2014 or 2016 levels, whichever is higher, plus enrollment growth over 2015. According to the Education Law Center in Newark, this is a double whammy for district schools. The governor provides no funding increase to support the education of district students, but then instructs districts to transfer more of their limited funds to charters. You'll recall that charter school funding, as Leon just pointed out, comes from our budget. We're looking at working with the administration to put together a resolution that will ask the governor and the legislature to hold all schools harmless. Moving on, the committee discussed personnel matters and next year's staffing and enrollment. We reviewed all agenda items for governance and personnel and recommend all for approval by the board tonight. We'd also like to extend our thanks to a few groups for their support of the district students with upcoming events. These are on the agenda. The Hoboken Public Library will visit Wallace and Calabro schools to promote the summer reading program at the library. The Hoboken Police Department School resource officers will talk to students in the family-friendly program at Connor School about bullying and intimidation. And Jersey Cares will be back at Wallace School to do more painting in the schoolyard. So that concludes my report.
Thank you. Mr. Biancamano?
The Facilities Committee did not meet this past month, but I certainly can follow up on something that Mr. Moffett brought up in terms of the scaffolding, in terms of the rebid at Brand School. I just want to let the public know this is just a speed bump in the road. I received this agenda on Friday, and immediately I noticed that resolution item where they were rescinding the bid, and it was for good reason, I mean, for legal reasons and for architectural reasons and things like that. The brunt of the work wasn't supposed to begin until after school closes in 3 weeks anyway, so I'm looking at this as just a speed bump. We should have another bid, hopefully, at the June 30th meeting, if not shortly thereafter at a special meeting. And we can continue to say that it's the beginning of the end of the scaffolding over at Brand School and redo the facade over at Brand School as well. So I just wanted to follow up on that this is just a minor speed bump, but hopefully everything will pan out by the June 30th meeting and we can go forward with the restoration. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Sobolov?
Before I begin my report, I just wanted to show everybody this book, show it to the TV. This is the junior book project, and the juniors in the high school write this in a partnership with Columbia University and the Student Press Initiative, and all the juniors write an essay, and the book is printed in this. The students also do the photography, which I can see, very nice. So the presentation was incredibly uplifting, moving, and that I think will be on TV soon, and this book is available on Amazon if anybody's interested. The Athletics and Performing Arts Committee met on June 3rd. In attendance was myself, Dr. Hernandez, Ms. Tyroller, Ms. Stromwell, and Ms. Evans. In athletics, there were changes to the athletic program was discussed. In response to student interest and enrollment, tennis and cross country will not be offered, but boys volleyball will be added next year. The athletic director is instituting a student athletic leadership council who will interact with other students, the general student body, and the community, so that's a nice thing. Performing arts, there's a lot because it's the end of the year, and there will be a end of the year showcase June 12th at 7 p.m. The tickets are $5 and will feature many of the acts throughout the year, from Grease, Shrek, various thespian competitions, children from K to 12, so that's June 12th. The summer theater camp already has 80 K to 8th grade students enrolled in the district summer theater camp, and 10 high school students are volunteering to be counselors. The drama department recently attended the Hudson Teen Arts Competition at New Jersey State University. Let's see, in these 4 categories, small group drama, Brittany Colon came in first place, and Jason Oliveras second place. Small music vocal group or solo, Willie Allen third place. Small group instrumental woodwind ensemble, a duet with Jason Oliveras and Rebecca Manillo. And small group musical theater, top honors, first place from Freddie My Love from Greece, Brittany Colon, Aisha Tapia, Hannah Mack, Evilise Lorenzo, and Allison Feinstein. So I think they deserve a big... The next Hoboken Junior Senior High School drama production will be Little Shop of Horrors in February, and the next all-district K-12 production will be Beauty and the Beast in May. Now, I just wanted to discuss Shrek separately because it's kind of big, and I did this last year, kind of a fun facts about the theater department I think people would be interested to know. So if those of you who saw it, it was a huge show. big show in many ways, so I just wanted to give a couple little facts about it. There were 140 K-12 students, 120 on stage, and 20 in the backstage crew. Students designed the playbill, the lobby mural. They were stage managers, prop masters, played in the orchestra. They videotaped and edited the show for Channel 77. The backstage club and class researched and created all props and built all the sets except for the dragon, including the swamp, the forest, and the 2 castles. So everything you saw on stage was built by the students. 60 lead costumes were rented from an original touring company of Shrek, and it took Miss Miller and some of her friends 3 vehicles to get them from Pennsylvania. They drove hours. And then many of the other costumes were donated or were created by her backstage crew. Rehearsals were 10 weeks long and were assisted by 40 fingerprinted parent volunteers. Among the many games and snacks provided during rehearsal, Grace Church and their dinner club of volunteers donated and served 600 meals to the students during Tech Week. So thank you very much to Grace Church. The drama club parents and the PTO sold flowers, Shrek ears, and over 300 empanadas, homemade empanadas at the school store. The 3 shows were sold out every day. And although the theater department is funded by the Board of Education, it is supplemented by monies raised by ticket sales and other fundraisers through the year, like family movie nights, allowing for a variety of extras like additional thespian competitions, field trips, or a few hours of a dialect coach, which helped Angel Quinones nail Shrek's Scottish accent. He did. So I kind of think it's interesting. I thought people would be interested to know that this year, including the ticket sales from Grease, Shrek, and other fundraisers, Miss Miller and her drama department raised $30,000 to provide these extras to the students and the community. So thank you for your patience for my monologue.
Thank you. And just quickly, just a few remarks as president. It's June, and this is the end of the school year. We have a lot of celebrations going on. High school graduation will be on the last day of school, June 25th. Hopefully we'll have beautiful weather so we can have it outside. And that morning, all the elementary schools have their 6th grade moving up days in the morning and little ceremonies. So it's really a fun time of year for the board. We're very proud of all the children in the district and very thankful to all the teachers, administration, support staff, and building help that puts together, gives our kids all they need all year long. And this is the great month because we get to celebrate all our kids' success, which is all from all of our employees' hard work. Also, we're going to be celebrating our seniors who have received scholarships and also the sports awards this month. That's always a great evening. And Dr. Brickell and I had the honor of going to the Hudson County Academics Awards dinner to celebrate our valedictorian, Liana Rodriguez, who's going to be going to Drew University, and our salutatorian, Jonathan Aviles, who is going to Stevens Institute of Technology. They're both wonderful children. We're very, very proud of them, and we're looking forward to hearing some beautiful remarks from them at graduation. Dr. Brickell is going to be with us for our June 30th meeting, so we can hold our goodbyes for then, which are going to be bittersweet. And lastly, thank you so much, Ms. Boddy. You've been just a pleasure to work with. So with that, comments on committee reports or the administration reports from the board or questions? Anyone?
Yes. Since Mr. Gold brought up a finance portion, and I was going to bring this up at the end of the meetings, but again, since it was brought up during the committee reports, I was actually, and Mr. Moffitt and Dr. Brickell, this pertains to obviously the whole district. I was at a school board's meeting about a few weeks ago, and Title I funding came up from the federal government. Apparently they're going to change their guidelines now where, and I see Mr. Moffitt nodding, so I'm guessing he knows this already, where they're going to be determining our Title I funding based on our city's median income, rather than how it's based now, which is under a free and reduced lunch. So obviously that is not good for our district. As soon as I heard it, I've asked many questions at the meeting, and so did many of the other school board members from other districts had many questions. And I believe that it is everything but law, if I'm not mistaken. And Mr. Moffett, I don't know if you have heard anything on it, but certainly that's going to severely impact our district, I feel like.
Yeah, this is, I guess, one of those items where they keep moving your cheese all the time. The federal government likes to do that, keep us on our toes. So we have, individuals that will work closely with Title I. I'm not aware of any major changes at this point, although they talk about it, I think, every time they reauthorize legislation down in D.C. But they'll disseminate that out, and we'll have more in the future. If there's any major changes, I'll obviously report that out to the board.
Excellent. And I'll obviously keep my eyes or my ears open by continuing to go to meetings and reporting back to the board. Thank you. I just want to bring that up. And congratulations, Ms. Potty. You were wonderful these past few years. I know when I couldn't get a BA, I called you since you were the assistant, and you were always very thorough and very patient with me, because I know I can ask many questions as people who come to this meeting now. So thank you so much for your service.
Questions, comments?
I just want to say, Ms. Boddy, thank you so much. I appreciate what you've been through. I appreciate the challenges that you've had. I appreciate the contributions you made to the school system. And sincerely, I just want to wish you all the best. Okay.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I would just like to echo that comments, because when I was elected to the board 3 years ago and made chairman of the finance committee, you were the person who got me comfortable in that, answered my questions, and spent some hours in your office familiarizing myself. So thank you so much for settling me down. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so now we will move on to public agenda comments, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. They're sneaking up to sign up. So this is these are the questions that are related to items on the agenda, and then there's the questions at the end, which are just general public comments at the end, which do not have to be related to the agenda. So these are agenda comments.
Individuals, Patricia Waiters. I don't see her. So,
Okay. Yeah, your name and address, please.
Certainly. My name is Gilbert Seda, and I live at 1238 Garden Street here in Hoboken. Thank you very much for hearing me. I wasn't sure whether or not what I'd be addressing was going to be on the agenda or not, but it appears that it was squarely addressed with respect to the various finance reports and other comments. I have a daughter who I just registered for pre-K 3 and is one of the, I hear, 80 students who are on the wait list for next year's 2015-2016 class. I'm here to ask what I can do to help you guys to facilitate getting more funding, getting more space, finding out if the people who have registered, who are moving out of Hoboken, aren't going to be taking those spots. It's a bit daunting. There was an article today in the Hoboken Reporter that talked about there being originally 105 students on the wait list, and now there's only 80. And from a little bit of Google research, it seems like this is an issue that comes up every year, and every year it seems they say, we hope we have enough spots, but we're not sure. And then there's sort of the overlay of, this was an Abbott district, I guess now it's called something else. It seems unclear to me whether or not everyone who wants a spot in pre-K gets a spot in pre-K, and if there's funding, if there's adequate space within this building, within the various buildings. I honestly am at a bit of a loss as to how we can help, but I hear, the funding is flatlined except with respect to charter schools. Pre-K is obviously not a charter school. And I'm at a bit of a loss as to how we can help, but I would like to help. I mean, if it's lobbying, if it's, talking to the legislature, if it's talking to, I guess my question is, I'm curious what steps are being taken now to try to get additional funding. I've heard that in the past, additional funding has been obtained for more schools or for more classrooms for pre-K, and that also, but it's also a matter of space as to whether or not you physically got the classrooms in order to have the additional students and the additional classes and the additional teachers. So I guess it's sort of a two-part. What's being done and what can I do? What can I do with other people who live here in Hoboken? My wife and I have a house here. We're part of the community. We're not looking to be Hoboken to the suburbs and be gone. We want to be part of this community. We want to be part of this school district and like our daughter to start with all of her friends and all that. And so I want to help however I can. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
That was the only...
Yes.
I can just address that briefly, some of your comments anyway. The funding actually was cut by about $60,000 for next year, but in reference to placement, we're required to place all of the eligible pre-K and kindergarten students as a former Abbott district. Some come later than others, it's a first come, first served situation due to registration. But in my experience this year, and talking to my director at Brant, who also has a history of it in Brant, we've been able to place everybody. It's just that some are a little later than others. There is a waiting list, but again, I assure you that we are required to place every eligible student in a program.
I would just like to thank you for offering to get involved and asking the questions, and hopefully past history will be representative of the future.
Can I say? Excuse me. I wanted to thank you also for coming forward and asking for help, and I think that maybe outreach to the state is always a good thing, and that may take a while. I think for now I've seen conversations on Hoboken Moms and Facebook. I think what would really be very helpful now is if people use their own social media, whether you use Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and speak to people that were in your group if you knew that they moved out. I mean, if somebody's busy, they moved out, they had another baby, remembering to contact the school is not going to be the thing on their mind. So, because I think that's what usually happens is that people start to, we can't give up the space until that the enrolled child has been absent for 10 days. So of course now you're pushing that other person out 2 weeks. So if you know of anybody, or if anybody can just kind of put it out there that if somebody has moved or their situation has changed, to contact the school, and that would be very helpful for their friends who are looking to stay. That's a good one. Thank you.
Yeah, and we've, this does happen, and what we found is by the time if we add an additional classroom, by the time we get to September, we have an empty classroom. So I know it's very, it's hard to be on a wait list, but it's also, from the past, we know that every child does get a seat who's eligible, so.
But if I may, I mean, I just want to make it clear that this is not a decision that the board makes or that the administration makes to put people on the waiting list. As a former Abbott district, it used to be called an Abbott district, then they stopped calling it now sort of the unofficial term is the former Abbott district. It means the same thing. But we are, the district and other former Abbott districts are required to provide free pre-K as part of our curriculum. Or it's not even our curriculum, we're just mandated to provide it. Most districts in the state of New Jersey do not. So when we say that we have, a waiting list, we tell that to the state, and then the state says, well, let's just wait to see who shows up. Then we'll fund you. So we're in the same bind. We can't move forward. We can't commit until the state gives us the money. In a sense, we're just a pass-through. We manage the pre-K program, and we run a good one. But but the money comes from the state, and we are obligated to provide that. We don't pay for it, the state provides it. So we're sort of stuck being the bad guys in a way, saying, that we have people on the waiting list. We didn't create it, we're just trying to deal with it.
No, thanks for
that
the
helps.
clarity, Mr. Klipfeld. It's a designated number of seats from the state. So that's what we're working with. When we hit that designated number of seats, that's when the wait list starts. And then there's constant communication with the state about where we are with this. And the state makes the determination in the past as to whether or not to add the classroom. And the reason why they don't is because our history here is that we lose enough children over the summer that there are actually spaces. So, but thank you for clarifying that.
And to continue, if I may, I mean, that touches on what Dr. Gold was talking earlier with asking for an exemption on the kindergarten enrollment. Again, because we are a former Abbott district, we are required to have full-day kindergarten, right? And because we're a former Abbott district, our enrollment is limited to, is it 20 kids? 21 in a class. And now it looks like we have growing enrollment, but again, the state only gives us or anticipates a certain amount. So until we can document those children, and that enrollment, again, our hands are tied. And that's why we ask, well, could we just have like one extra in the class? And the state says no. As a former Abbott district, gets cut off at 21. So what do? We have to sit and wait again. So.
Yeah, and for kindergarten enrollment, because the trip from pre-K 4 to kindergarten is not the same as if you in Hoboken for first grade and then you're going to go to another district for second grade. You actually get a transfer paper when you're in K to 12 to go to the other school. So we're actually aware of children that are not going to be here that have already been in the K-12 system. We know because they need to get a transfer paper to go to their new district. With pre-K and kindergarten, we don't have that ability. So we even have the same similar situation going from pre-K 4 to kindergarten, where we don't necessarily know if all the kids that registered for kindergarten are going to be here on September 3rd or whatever the start of school is. So for anyone who knows anyone that is signed up for public kindergarten in Wallace Connors or Calabro, and they know that they will not be here in September, encourage them to notify the schools. Okay, so I guess we can move on to a consent agenda. Does anyone want to pull any items for separate vote, or can we have a motion for a consent agenda?
Motion for a consent
Second.
agenda.
Okay. Mr. Moffett?
Call roll. Oh, yes.
Just point out one correction on 9.02, it says the 2014-15 school year. It should be 2015-16. 2015-16.
Of course.
Mr. Moffett, do you have to add something to any of the,
Do
do you have to add something to the thing?
Well, I read it out to my report, but I can,
Okay,
I can
good.
go. Good. Shall I call roll, Madam President?
Yes, please.
Ms. Angley?
Yes.
Mr. Biancamano?
No on 6.01, 6.02, and 10.13. Yes on everything else.
Yes on all others? Yes on all the others?
On all the others. Except for the three.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Dr. Gold?
Yes?
Mr. Klopfeld?
Yes.
Ms. Mitchell?
Yes.
Ms. Sobolov?
Yes, but abstain on the 2 executive session minutes.
Ms. Stromwell?
Yes.
And Ms. Tyroller?
Yes. Okay, now we'll move on to public comments. Mr. Moffett?
We have 6 speakers tonight. The first individual signed up is Patricia Waiters.
Patricia Waiters. I'm sorry I just walked in. I just want to congratulate myself on the committee. I won and I had to go to the other meeting, but I came early enough to sign, with all due respect to all the board members. Tonight I'm gonna be very brief because I'm a little emotional, so I promise myself I'm gonna try to stay professional and not ever speak again because so many people in Hoboken and in my community watch this. And I told you before, I can't go to ShopRite in the park with my kids or whatever, I'm being approached. But in a good way too, because they said, Patricia, keep up your fight. Well, I told them just now I had to leave my reorg meeting and rush down here because I really want this to be taken very, very serious. I know this is the last meeting. We're closing out the school session, and when we come back within 4 months, we have a very serious election again. With that being said, I want to condone Dr. Hernandez. I'm telling you, the last 3 days I didn't get no sleep. My family was impacted with something very serious, okay? I don't want to share it because, like I said, I don't want to get emotional because it's a touchy situation because it involved my kids. Year after year, I stand at this microphone and I tell you, I run for the Board of Ed because I think it's only fair that we have minority representation. In our community, I know all of you are new leaders, but Ms. Tyrola, Ms. Soberloff, and people like that been in Hoboken a while, so you know how the community run. With the Hoboken Housing Authority, we also got people that's on a fixed income in applied companies. Within the last 3 years, we've been faced with an increase. We got a bus right now we're trying to utilize and go down to Trenton. So a lot of families been going through a lot of hardship, and I'm telling you, it takes courage to stand at this microphone and gotta live in the community as such the way Hoboken is now, and we're being impacted. My daughter being a senior, what I experienced this last week, I will never wish this on my worst enemy. Me and anybody else come forward that's going to be in the public school system. I want to share that at a later date because I don't want to seem selfish, but I really, really want to thank Dr. Hernandez because you put the S in superintendent. You will be my kid's superhero for the rest of her college career and everything else. Because to tell my daughter she wasn't able to go to a prom is like the end of the world for her. Not only with her peers, her classmates teasing and cracking jokes, you do not understand what I experienced. And I really want to share it with this board at a later date. I have documentation, I have cell phone texts, and I try to refrain from not even asking for donations or fundraise because everybody I asked made it very political because I was a candidate. So with that being said, please don't take for granted that because we don't come up here and say it, or it takes a lot for a kid to be teased, and like I told you before, because we don't have the resources, and we shouldn't be punished and held to deadlines because of these physical restraints, these financial restraints that we going through. We didn't ask for it, okay? Hoboken has changed drastically. We all still want to live here, and I don't think it's fair that we have to be punished and thrown in our face that we can't make a deadline if we really don't have it. And I'm bringing you documentation from lawyers' offices showing you my increases. I did everything by the book, and I'm one to follow the policy like with a forensic needle. And it bothered me because she was still told she cannot go to her prom. And I want to thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for your professionalism. I would never see a superintendent go just as crazy as you did those last 2 days. My heart go out to you. I know it was a spur of the moment, but when I came to your door in the time of need, you was there. I really, really want you to know that my family appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Dr. Hernandez, and everyone else that contribute to my daughter. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Whitehurst.
The next speaker is Shatali Kahana.
Hello. Hi, my name is Chitali. I'm at 2nd and Madison. I have one child in Wallace and a second one who will be there next year. The reason I decided to come up here and speak is based on the past meetings I've attended this year, and I've witnessed individuals who seem to enjoy coming here and speaking negatively about our schools and lashing out on you, the board, probably just to rile up things and continue to try and spread negativity about Hoboken Public Schools for their own self-interests and career. Well, I think we're all kind of tired of it, and as a parent, I resent the ridiculous accusations and negative comments that are brought to these meetings as well as outside. And I definitely feel personally insulted as a parent whose kids are in the public school. So we are at the end of the school year, and if you're not happy, I like to tell people, then please get involved. I think all of you sitting up there have done a great job in what you have brought to our schools and what you have accomplished. I want to thank the board and the superintendent's office. I also want to thank all the staff and teachers at Wallace and our highly respected Mr. Bowley. My daughter loves her school, her class, and friends. We are very happy, and we are amazed at the wonderful, passionate, and excellent staff and teachers. My daughter is definitely being challenged academically, which is exactly what I want to see as a parent, as academics are a #1 priority for my family. And one last item, I want to thank all of you for bringing us Mr. Shannon. We are extremely excited to have him and for him to take our school to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Next speaker is Sarah Rayner.
Hi, Sarah Rayner, 1000 Jefferson Street, and Hoboken Junior Senior High School PTO President. I'm really glad to be following Chitali because, again, I'm up here to say happy things and great things. And first of all, I wanted to commend the parents in the junior and the senior high school for getting behind the PTO because it's been a wonderful experience. These past few months, we've raised close to $3,000, and we got together in February. We've been doing a lot of work. I'm so proud of the board, the PTO board, but the parent involvement has just been wonderful for all of the events that we've been active in. So hopefully we'll keep it up next year. Our comedy night, which we had last week, we had over 110 people come. The place was packed. There were 6 comics. It was awesome. Our next big event is the flea market, which is Saturday, June 20th. It's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. It is at the high school. It's free, open to the public. If you wanted to have a table to sell your stuff, you can look in the digital backpack, contact myself or Chris Munoz at the high school for an application. And I also wanted to make a note of our own Will, who's been chosen himself and one other student that are juniors right now going to their senior year to attend the American Legion Boys State, which is a really wonderful program. They get to miss a whole week of school, but I think it's going to be worth it. So congratulations, Will. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Sheila Dallaire.
Hi, Sheila Dallaire, 1000 Hudson Street. Good evening. I wanted to come up here and talk to you about a project that myself, as a co-director for the Hoboken Special Needs Parent Group and the Hoboken Police Department have been working on. The Hoboken Police Department has had this form called the Autism Emergency Contact Form for quite some time. And I looked something up for my son because it's summertime and I just want to make sure that, there's something in there for him just in case he wanders or he gets lost and, how will the police, track him down and if they know how to treat him. So in doing my research, I found this form, and it was an excellent form. So I've met with Sergeant Gigante over at the Hoboken Police Department, and we've been collaborating and working, and we've actually updated the form now, and it's not just for kids with autism, it is now for kids with any kind of special needs, any kind of disability, and it's been approved by, Sergeant Gigante and the chief over at the Hoboken Police Department. We've worked together and we've got this wonderful form now put together. Last week, I went in front of the CPAC meeting and I presented this form to our Special Services Director, Ms. Radwan. And she's thrilled and she's very excited about this new updated form. So I'm here today to explain to you briefly what this form will do and why I'm here to talk to you, to the board about it. So basically, the goal of this form is to give police quick access to critical information about a registered individual with any kind of disability in our community. The Registry for People with Any Kind of Disability through the Hoboken Police Department is an online registry which promotes communication and gives police quick access to information regarding kids or any child with disability, such as a full description of their disability, routine, favorite attractions, how they communicate, because keep in mind, some of these kids are nonverbal, they communicate through sign language, they might have tablets, and also what triggers them, right? So keep in mind, my son, for example, hates loud noises, so if, he hears sirens, he covers his ears. It's just little things like that that the police will know. It's a really good form for them to have all this information. So, along with this, I wanted to present it to you and share it with you and see if this is something that we can perhaps attach. It's about 3 pages long. Attach in the welcome packet in September for all the kids that will receive special services. We fill out all these packets, all these different forms on, would you like his picture taken? He put it in the web, online, all these things. And I think that this form is something that would be so valuable for our families, for our kids. God forbid anything was to ever happen to them. And then lastly, we are also going to be, the police department and my group are going to be working to fundraise for ID tags for all of our children. So if you register with the police department, you can also receive an ID tag, which every child can wear, and it'll have their name, contact information, so on and so forth. So a lot of work went into this. Teachers also kind of review this form. They put in their 2 cents, what they think should go in, because, they work with our kids every day. And like I said, it's just something, if my son was to ever go missing, I don't think I'd be able to blurb out all this information. I think I would just be able to say his name. So again, this is something that I wanted to present to you. Hopefully this is something that you guys could do. And just one last thing, piggybacking off of everybody's super amazing positive energy. I know that, this is not the last meeting. I know the 30th, I think, is the last meeting, but I won't be here. So I just want to say thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to come to these meetings and watch you guys in action. It's been awesome. And I'm so happy with where my kids go to school. I'm just so beyond happy. The support that I get from, the superintendent's office, from you guys, from the teachers, faculty, it has just been amazing. And I really cannot say good enough things about our school system. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Sade, you want to scratch it from here, right? You didn't want to speak? The last speaker is Roseanne Versace.
Roseanne Versace, 4th grade teacher, Wallace School. First, I'd like to thank all the parents who came up and spoke so highly and beautifully about Wallace School. As a teacher there, it's very heartwarming to hear positive feedback. The public school, I don't really need to say it, but we get bashed a lot. So it's always nice to hear that there are parents who are really happy with their children being there. So I'm happy being there, and I'm glad to hear that the parents are too. So thank you very much for that. Just a couple of quick comments. A new principal was approved tonight, so I would just like to congratulate Mr. Shannon and welcome him publicly on behalf of all the teachers at Wallace School. We are thrilled to have him. As one of the largest schools in the district, it's a daunting task, but we certainly believe he's up for the challenge. And just to publicly say that we are 100% behind him, and we look forward to working with him in the new school year. I'd like to also thank Mr. Bowley for his 2 years of service to the Wallace School family. I don't know if there's anybody who loves kids more than him, to be perfectly honest, and we will certainly miss him, but we wish him all the best. And lastly, to Dr. Burkell, if you're at the last meeting, or if I'm at the last meeting, so I just wanted to say thank you for your years of, for your year of service with us this year. It was a pleasure working with you and getting to know you, and I wish you all the best in the future. So thank you all, and I look forward to being back in September.
Thank you. Board comments before we close? Well, I would just like to thank everyone for those lovely comments. I cried a little bit. And because it makes us all feel really good to hear that we have really happy parents. And it's been great having you at the meetings as well. We really like having you here and hearing about the good things. And I just wanted to also, we all mentioned it, that Mr. Shannon was just, that was on the agenda, that he's now the principal at Wallace School. And, you know, it's exciting because Mr. Shannon started here as a teacher, I think in Calabro. Was he in Calabro? And then from... Yeah, well, he was a student too, but he was a teacher. He was a student, then he went to college, then he came back as a teacher, and he was also our athletic director, and he's been working as vice principal under Principal Fitzhugh down at Connors, and now he's a principal here in Hoboken. So it's really always a wonderful thing when we have someone who has come from within and has worked hard in the district, and he's been recognized and has continued his career here. So congratulations to Mr. Shannon. And unless there's any other comments?
I just wanted to say thank you to Stevens. I heard they had a very successful STEM-a-thon for the sixth graders. So sounds like it was a big hit, and hopefully they do that in the future.
Yeah, thank you. That's true.
And thank you for all the positive comments. My kids go to the district schools, and I feel exactly the same way. So thank you.
I would just like to say, Madam President, if I may, because we spoke about Mr. Shannon, and I think this is perfect what we need in our schools. It's going to be a great environment when other employees see a person like Mr. Shannon rise up the ranks so quickly and become a principal, and I think that's terrific. It's all about promoting from within and things like that, and it shows the others, his colleagues and other teachers, staff in the school district, that it can be done, and that we're continue to go forward with the best candidates. So thank you.
Okay. And with that, can I have a motion? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.